So I got this squeaking, popping, clunking, scrunching noise on these eBay coilovers. This one is, you're not going to be able to see it. BR Racing, or Best Racing, I believe is the brand. Or the seller I got them from anyway. The brand on it is actually Mr. X Speed Rods. So I contacted them. They told me to grease the coilovers, which I've never had to do before, but I've always bought name brand. So I pulled the top head off and the spring stops. There's a rubber washer and an aluminum shim. So I greased all that. Also, I greased the little pillow ball or whatever you want to call that in there. So I took it all apart, put it back together. I didn't think to do the video first. Haven't done this side yet, so we're going to see if it still makes the popping noise so I can show you all what that's about. Go ahead. You can hear that in the video, but that's the popping noise. So, like I said, I've already done the other side, greased it up, and I don't hear any popping from it, so hopefully this will fix it. Alright, I got my little brother's shirt on and it's really fucking tight. We're going to take the coilover off, got the car jacked up, so we'll pull the wheel off. I only run 4 lugs on a 5 lug bolt pattern. Just saves weight, saves time. Alright. This is a generic video. This car's a 2003 Impreza WRX. Everything should be pretty similar. We're going to pull off the bracket for the ABS and the brake line. Pull those out of the way. Next, you've got 2 bolts holding the coilover to your knuckle. Top one and this one's going to be a camber bolt. So this is how you adjust your camber. It's got a cam on it. You turn it one way, it's going to push the wheel out. Other way, it's going to pull the wheel in. These also have a built-in camber kit on these coilovers, which kind of replaces and does the same job as this. So you can really stick these bolts back in anywhere and it doesn't matter. You can just adjust it up here. Unless you turn this too far, then you got to go and tweak everything. But anyway, there's the first bolt. Second bolt. Front wheel drive or all wheel drive, you want to be careful if you got a CV axle here. So make sure you watch out for that. And next we'll take the 3 bolts loose on the top that hold the coilover to the body. Make sure you hold this so it doesn't fall out, or you can take these 3 nuts off before you take the 2 out of the strut, coilover, whatever you want to call it. Then we're going to pull it out. Be careful not to get stuck on the line. There you have it. Cool. Okay, so if these are new, which would be the best time to do this while they're already off the car, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of tension on these springs yet, but since I've already lowered this one, there is going to be some tension. So the smartest idea would be to break your locking collars off, take some tension off of that first, but I'm lazy. So we will have to do that to put it back together, but we're just going to use an impact. Be careful because this could shoot off of here. So we'll just pop it apart that way. Also, that's not the best on the threads, but it'll work. So pull your top hat off. There's these two little bushings that go on either side of your pillow ball. We're going to grease those up, grease the ball itself. If I don't lose it, it's like 100 degrees in here. Pull this seal off. Pay attention to the order these come apart. You got that? We're going to grease that. Both sides of each of these rings. This aluminum shim. This one's like a plastic rubber kind of thing. This will ride the spring. Spring comes off. I'm going to grease the flat spots on the spring. And then we're going to do the base down here. Another important thing to do, obviously you want these to be the same height on both sides, unless you're weird. So measure your gaps. You can measure in between the rings. I like to take a fixed point, which is like the body of this, the bottom, and measure up to wherever I've got it set at. I wrote down the measurements off the other side since I've already done that, so I'll just match it up when it goes back together. Grease all that up. Like I said, when you go to put this back together, I'm just kind of slopping it together here. You're going to have all this tension when all that's on there. You won't be able to get this nut on. So you'll have to break this loose and slide it down to make more room up here. That way you can get it together, put your lock nut on, and then take your tension back out with this. Like I said, if they're new, you probably won't have to do that, but since these have already been adjusted, we're going to have to. So we'll grease it all up, put it back together, put it in the car, and hopefully no more popping. Okay, coil-overs apart, grease over everything. There, top hat. I'll put it on both sides of the spring. I'll put it all back together and hopefully it won't pop. Alright, so I also put a little grease in there, pull these bushings out, grease them as well. So we're going to bolt it all back together, see how it looks. Sorry about the fan, guys, it's like 100 degrees in here. Alright, so it's all back together, greased up, greased everything. Better not pop this time, hopefully. It's still loose, so I can just line everything up in the car and bolt it back up.